Hey guys, what is going on? I thought today I'd just give one last shout out to the old Ethereum as it leaves on its rocket ship for greener pastures. Maybe greener, maybe not. Time will tell. But here we are, no more Ethereum. 7 hours, 46 minutes roughly, somewhere around there. Point is, it looks like it's actually happening and it is going forward. They've been talking about this since like 2018 or something. When I first got into mining, I dug up some old emails, and my very first Ethereum mining adventure, I guess, my very first card running on Ethereum, I think it was a 1070 card, and it was in December of 2017. So I have been mining Ethereum since December 2017. I can't believe it. Do I have any? No, it's all gone. But I've been here for the whole journey, man. Not the whole journey, but a good portion of it. So, this sending off Ethereum, this is a little bit emotional. I've been doing this for quite a while. It's been a big part of this. It feels like you're on holidays or something, or somewhere you always go. Every year you go to the same place, and then it's just not there anymore. They're selling it, or they're tearing it down, or they're doing something that the landscape is going to be forever changed, and you can never go back to it. That's kind of, you get that feeling in your chest. It's like, oh, like I'm gonna miss this. It was a great run, and it's just not there anymore. That's how I feel about Ethereum going away. It's pretty crazy. So I've got a lot of rigs here. I sat down and fiddled the whole night, got rid of all my Ethereum mining, moved it on to other coins, came up with a list of where I'm actually mining to. It's going to be kind of tricky going forward because it's not just a set it and forget it on Ethereum anymore. We're going to actually have to find out what the most profitable coin is, or find a project that you really like and kind of put all your eggs into many baskets now, not just Ethereum anymore for mining. So that's some big changes there. I am going to hopefully keep my running for as long as I can, but if profitability drops down to nothing, if electricity costs are too high, I am going to, I guess, shut the mine off like a lot of people are, and then kind of look at what I'm doing, focus on how the coins are heading. Something eventually will take over Ethereum. It has to. By the very nature of mining, supply and demand, people won't mine something that isn't profitable. So there will eventually be an equilibrium that reaches, but until that point, it could be a little bit messy. Is this going to take a couple months? Is it going to take 6 months? Is it going to take a couple weeks? Nobody knows. It'll probably be a little while. For now, these proof of work coins are pumping, which is nice. So they're definitely getting a lot more interest, but at the same time, payouts are a lot lower. But all that aside, here is what I have going on. I made this little spreadsheet here. I just broke it down here. These are all the cards that I currently own. So for AMD cards, I've got RX 580, 8 gigabyte. I'm putting these on Ravencoin and Neoxa. They are hashing 13.5 to 14.5. And the software shows 130 to 140 watts. I think at the wall, there's a couple videos. I think these are a little closer to 150, 155 watts at the wall. How many do I own? 13 of those. These are the original dedicated mining cards that I purchased, and I still have them to this day. I actually almost sold all of them in a rig for, I think I got like an offer of 8 Ethereum. This is back at the beginning of the bull run, and I turned it down. Ethereum was maybe $2,000 back then, and the Canadian prices, and it went up to 6 or 7 or something like that. But either way, I didn't take it, and I still got the cards. So who's laughing now? Not me. AMD 5700 XT. I've got one of these cards, and it's a dog. It's a terrible card. It's doing 21 at 130 watts. I've got one of those. That's on Ravencoin. So right now I'm kind of split 50-50 roughly between Ravencoin and Neoxa. I think I'm doing a little more Ravencoin at the moment, but it's not too far off. And then 6700 XT, I've got 8 of these cards. They do 24.5 hashes at 80 to 90 watts. 1060 cards, I've got 4 of these left. They are on Ravencoin or Neoxa. They do 8 to 11 mega hash, 95 watts. I've got one 1080 that is also totally messed up. I can't do anything with the clocks. As soon as I touch it, the card it'll crash the whole rig. So this thing's on NVIDIA. It's doing 36 sols at 130 watts. 1660 supers. I've got 3 of these. They are on Flux, doing 29.5 at 105 to 115 watts. 2070 supers. 2 of these. 58 sols at 140 watts. And then on to the 30 series cards. First off, this one here, 3070M, is my laptop. So this one is pegged at 125 watts. Can't change that. It is on Ravencoin or Neoxa, and it is doing 29.8 megahash right now. It's a cool laptop. It's awesome for everything, except the keyboard is terrible on it. Just it's an MSI. I hate the keyboard. Terrible. But the guts and how the thing works, beautiful. You just need an external keyboard and mouse, and the thing's wonderful. So back onto some coins here. 3060s. I've got 22 of these. I don't know how I ended up with so many of them, but they're great little cards. These are on Ravencoin or Neoxa. They're doing 22.5 to 23.5 megahash at 130 to 135 watts. 3060 Ti's. I've got 7 of these. These are on Ravencoin or Neoxa, 28.5 megahash at 165 watts. I got 4 3070s on Ravencoin or Neoxa, 30 to 31 megahash at 150 watts. So the reason why these low-powered NVIDIA cards are on Ravencoin and Neoxa are because they can handle the heat. They cool down a lot better. There's not a lot of issues, not giant power draws. Like it's still 150, 165, 135. These are very reasonable power rates, so I don't need to worry about my power supplies or drawing too much from a particular circuit or anything like that. So that's why all these lower powered cards are all on Raven. And then on to the big boys here. I've got 2 3070 Ti's. These are all on, so everything now is on Ergo. I got 2 3070 Ti's. They do 170 at 140 watts. 3080s, I got 6 of these cards. They do 200 megahash, 150 watts. 3080 Ti's, I got 10 of these. They do 260 at about 195 to 210 watts. And actually, these 3080 Ti's, I've ran these in the past, in the winter, a lot on Ravencoin. And they were doing about 58 megahash at 325 watts. So they pull 125 watts more on Raven per card versus Ergo. But I can't do it in the fall or the summer. It's too hot, so they can't even do it. They have to be on Ergo or nothing. And this card actually, I've got a power meter on my main PC, which has a 3080 Ti in it. And I checked between Ethereum and Ergo, and the whole system was taking, geez, I can't remember now. I think it was 67 watts less on Ergo than it was on Ethereum. 67 or 78? It might have been 78 watts. Geez, I can't remember now. It was significant either way. It must have been 78 because it was close to 80 watts. So 78 watts less on a 3080 Ti on Ergo. So just moving these 10 over to Ergo from Ethereum saves me just about 800 watts by doing that swap. So that's crazy how power efficient Ergo is. Then on to my final cards here, the 1390. I've got 6 of these. These are power hungry beasts, so they are not as good on Ergo as the 3080 Ti is actually. They're doing 245 to 250 depending on the card, and the wattage range from 200 to 230. So like my Asus Strix, those cards do 230. Those are just junk cards. I don't like anything about them. And then everybody else seems to be closer to that 200 range. I've got a Founders Edition 3090. I think that one's on the low end of the power draw. There you have it. There are my cards. I've got 90 of these cards. How many old? I got 13, which are pretty old, plus 4, plus 1, 5. So I got 18 old cards. And was that 72 newer cards? So I got a little split there. And that is my farm at the moment. And no more Ethereum. It's all on these particular coins right now. So Ravencoin is pumping hard right now. Neoxa is doing, I don't know if its big pump is over or if it's got more to go, but there's some game integration or something that's going to be doing. So there's a little bit of feature in that one. And I don't know too much about Flux. And Ergo, I think, has a lot of future potential as well. So hopefully these go somewhere, but it feels odd moving from one coin to 4 coins now. That is what I've got going on. Ethereum Classic, I looked at that a little bit, but ASICs are going to be completely taking that over, so I'm not even going to bother. I mined a little bit of it prior to this, not much, but the payout dropped to next to nothing. So it's going to be all these altcoins now. This is the time for one of these bad boys to take over and step up in the proof of work world. One of these is going to take over Ethereum. Which one is it going to be? It might not even be on this list. It might be something else. Who knows? But you guys just keep on mining and we'll say goodbye to Ethereum. It's been fun while it lasted, but she's moving on. She's had enough. She's had enough of our graphic cards. Sorry, fellas and ladies, if you're some lady miners out there. We will figure this out. So that is all I got for today. You guys take it easy. Keep mining. Stay strong.